Two again.
So Demetrius Andrade has still not found a worthy opponent to face him. You know, this is a guy that's a champion. He's undefeated, you know. But for whatever reason, Demetrius Andrade can't get a fight to save his life. Billy Joe Saunders has pretty much turned down a fight with Demetrius Andrade. They were supposed to have a fight, I believe it was last year sometime. And Billy Joe Saunders failed a drug test for nasal spray. I think that was by design. I think he did that on purpose to get out of that fight with Andrade, honestly. Because if you really want to fight this guy, you'll fight him. And that's my problem with boxing, man. I mean, boxing is a hit or miss, especially when you really that deep into it as a fan. You really start to really notice a lot of the fuckery that's going on. And there's no reason why Billy Joe Saunders shouldn't be fighting Demetrius Andrade at this point of his career. Who has Billy Joe Saunders fought? Besides Chris Eubanks Jr., a green Chris Eubanks Jr. And who else did he fight? I can't even think about it. David Lemieux. You know what I'm saying? Who has he fought besides those two guys? Nobody. You know, Billy Joe Saunders, he's an undefeated fighter. I'm just tired of even talking about this shit, dude. Because this shit is just, boxing is just stupid, man. I love boxing. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But at the same time, it's when you're a fight fan like I am, and you have certain expectations, and it's just not working out, you know? Like Triple G, for example. He's one of the biggest duckers in boxing. There's a lot of ducking in boxing, too. We might want to go over that in this video as well. It's a lot of duckers in boxing. You could damn near name them out. And it's just pathetic, man. A guy like Demetrius Andrade, we may never see how truly good this dude really is. And it's not even his fault, you know? Really, at this point, it don't even matter what network you own. You know, some networks got more duckers than others. But if you're too good for your own good, if a majority of the fighters in your weight division feel that they can't beat you, you will be standing in the middle of the street by yourself. You will be at that playground playing by yourself. You will be on that basketball court shooting hoops by yourself. Because them dudes boxers ain't like the MMA guys. And that's the difference between a boxer, a prize fighter, and a mixed martial artist. Martial arts is the key word there. Martial artists are all about honor and testing themselves. Not all of them. You know, not all the mixed martial arts today live by that code. A lot of these guys are wrestlers and stuff like that. But a lot of the martial artists, the jiu-jitsu guys, the karate guys, the Muay Thai, that's something that's embodied within these guys. They want to prove themselves to be the best. They want to test themselves against other fighters, test their style against other styles. But in boxing, it's few far in between where you find boxers who really, you know, who's really about that. You can really name and count on both hands a lot of the fighters that's really willing to fight anybody and everybody. You know, it's just pathetic, man. It's pathetic that we may never see Demetrius Andrade really see if he's really that guy. You know, Demetrius Andrade arguably or possibly could be one of the best fighters of this generation. But we may never get the chance to see it. You know, we may never get a chance to see it. Terrence Crawford, another one, you know, another guy too good for his own good. We may never get to really see him take his career to that next level. I mean, if you want to say he could retire today, he'll be a Hall of Famer. That's fair. You know, he possibly would. He accomplished quite a bit, but he still don't have that one fight that's on his resume, and it's really not his fault. It don't matter what network you on. When guys don't want to fight you, they ain't gonna fight you. You know, it don't matter it just don't matter. If you're too good for your own good, you ain't gonna get the fights that you want. You know, Devin Haney, he's already starting to really experience this. You know, Lomachenko, he hasn't really, you know, responded in hopes of facing a Devin Haney. We haven't heard anything. You know, he's vocal about fighting Tank, but he don't want to fight Devin. You know, Tank Davis, another guy out here ducking. You know, he talk a lot of shit on social media to a lot of these fighters, you know, guys that's way out of his weight class, you know, but when it's time to fight, he ain't trying to fight nobody. Why didn't Tevin Farmer fight happen? Well, that's a good fight. You know, that's a good fight. Why didn't that happen? And then, you know, you got guys come on here and say, well, the business, man, I'm not hearing that shit, bro. I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. There's no reason why two champions or a guy that's a champion offering these, you got dudes, boxing's so ridiculous nowadays. You got dudes that's champions offering guys who's not a champion a title fight, and these guys are turning down title fights, man. They turning down title fights. And then they use the business as an excuse. And everybody rides with it. Oh, well, yeah, the business wasn't right. You know, the fight just didn't make sense. When they say that, that means they scared, man. Why don't people just call shit for what it is? I'm going to call it shit for what it is. Once that business shit comes into play, once a fighter start talking business all of a sudden, oh, it's got to make sense. Oh, I'm the A side. Oh, you're on the wrong side of the street. All this other crazy shit. Once they start talking like that, that means they scared. They scared to lose. They may not necessarily be scared of that man, that person, but they scared to lose. They scared they may not be able to beat this dude. And that's just what boxing is nowadays. That's what Anthony Joshua was doing with Deontay Wilder for the longest, giving him the runaround, saying he wasn't worth it. He's this, he's that. I'm glad Deontay Wilder finally came to his own, and he don't really need Anthony Joshua no more. He just got to make sure he gets past Luis Ortiz and, you know, beats Tyson Fury decisively this time. You know, so it's just boxing. It's rough, man. It's rough when you think about it. Like, you got guys like Jarrett Hurd. And the thing is, I like a lot of these guys too, but I'm just an honest person. Jarrett Hurd, you know, turning down the rematch with J-Rock. I mean, I guess that was the right move. I guess it was. J-Rock is all wrong for Jarrett Hurd. So I don't fault him for that. But the Jermell Charlo fight was the fight that everybody wanted. You know, J-Rock was the guy who just got kind of brought in there, you know, pretty much as a tune-up for Jarrett Hurd, and we saw what happened there. But, you know, we wanted the Jermell Charlo fight. That never happened. They was marinating on it, and I need to fight more orthodox fighters, and look around, he fucked around and lost. You know, and then Jermell Charlo ended up facing Tony Harrison, and he fucked around and lost. Anthony Joshua milking the Wilder fight, the fight that one of the biggest fights, man, we probably would have seen in a long time. And now it lost all its luster. Maybe if AJ could beat Ruiz, maybe it'll reignite that flame, but I don't see it. You know, he went out there and fought Ruiz and lost. There goes that fight. You know, Tyson Fury out here playing games with Otto Wallin, and, you know, that fight lost a little bit of that steam now. The Fury rematch. It been lost steam because he should have fought him right when the fire was hot. You know, now they milked it and marinating it, and it's just boxing. Oh, my God. I can go honestly, I can go on for hours. It's just about all the bullshit and about the sport of boxing that I just don't like. You know, maybe I'm just being... maybe my expectations is just a little too high. You know, like I said, I was a guy who followed Muay Thai for a long time, kickboxing, MMA, and shit like that as well as boxing. And in those sports, you get spoiled, man, because the best guys usually fighting the best guys. And, you know, guys got losses and shit, and that's because they fighting killers. They fighting other killers. You know, but in boxing, you got all these undefeated dudes and dudes that's like A-side material, and, you know, they get to play politics and flex on guys' fights and freeze them out and age them out. And it's just a lot of crazy shit going on, man. But I guess that's the sport of boxing. Do you really like that? As a boxing fan, and ask yourself, like, do I really like what's going on? You know, certain fights that just may not happen. The Crawford-Spence fight, come on, man. I give it a 10% chance it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. And if Sean Porter wins this Saturday, that's a big if. It really ain't gonna happen. You know, Keith Thurman, the Errol Spence Keith Thurman fight, another example, a fight that should have happened. But nah, Keith Thurman wanted to take 22 months off. You know, he want to play around and duck and dodge. I think stylistically he could have gave Errol Spence some problems if he could survive, if he's durable enough. Keith Thurman is a tough dude, despite the bullshit. And he will step through some smoke, but you just got to get him in the ring. That's the hard part, is getting him in the ring. If he had fought Errol Spence in the first place, he might have done a lot better than even he probably could have thought. But no, he waited for the Manny Pacquiao fight, got the bag, now he got nothing. Nobody even talking about Keith Thurman no more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got the money, but now what? You know, let's say he did beat Manny Pacquiao. Okay, you beat a 40-year-old Pacquiao. People are going to downplay that victory for you, bro. Because Pacquiao was still a 40-year-old man. But Pacquiao beating you, he had everything to gain. And that's why I don't understand why these guys, I mean, I understand why they're chasing Pacquiao fights for the money. You know, they want to get that last good bag before Pacquiao walk out the door. But I feel that if you do what you're supposed to do, fight the best fighters, prove that you are the best, that money will be there. You know, the glory will be there. The legacy and the glory lasts forever. The money, that shit ain't gonna last forever, man. So, but if you do what you're supposed to do, it's gonna be there for you. You got guys like Andrade and shit sitting on the shelf. For what? Why is Demetrius Andrade sitting on the shelf? Why? You know, so why is none of the bigger channels up in arms about Demetrius Andrade being blacklisted from the sport of boxing, being blackballed? Why? Come on, man. Somebody make this shit make sense to your boy. Somebody make this shit make sense. It's looking like Demetrius Andrade and Jamal Charlo may have to fight each other. I think Jamal Charlo has a fight with Dennis Hogan coming up. That should be a good fight for him. But me personally, I think Demetrius Andrade is a bad matchup for the stiff, robotic, rigid Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo's good, explosive, strong, but I just think he's too stiff, and I don't think he has the boxing IQ to really beat Andrade. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but he don't seem too eager to fight Andrade. He never did. Even when Andrade was, pulling up at press conferences and shit, calling for a fight, they didn't have that energy that they want to really fight the guy. You know what I'm saying? You could just tell, man. You could just tell. I don't know why fans act like they don't see that shit. You know, maybe it's because that's their favorite fighter. Maybe because that particular fighter is on a favorite network that they riding with. You know, but at the end of the day, man, when you're a boxing fan, it's easier for you. It's easier for you to call shit for what it is. You know, it's easier when you don't align yourself with one particular network. You know, but guys like Billy Joe Saunders shouldn't even get fights. You know, his last fight was against a dude named She-Fat. You know, we never heard of this guy. He gave Billy Joe Saunders a tough fight. It was a tough fight for Billy Joe. Billy Joe was damn near a cruiserweight. It's just... He's talking about fighting on the KSI Logan Paul undercard. You know, that's a pretty... I don't know, that fight, whatever. You know, I'm not really thinking about that fight, but... Andre wants to fight on that card as well. And Billy Joe Saunders turned him down. So there goes that fight. You know, that fight ain't going to happen. We can count on it not to happen. Demetrius Andrade is with Terrence Crawford and Jamal Charlo. They at the park by themselves. They all in different. They at the park playing by themselves, man, and nobody want to come play with them. You know, it's just that's just what it is. And shout out to guys like Deontay Wilder, because if it wasn't for him giving Luis Ortiz all these opportunities, Luis Ortiz would be at the park with them guys. You know what I'm saying? But Deontay Wilder's a real fighter. He's a real dude. You know, he's giving guys 50-50 splits when he don't have to. I don't agree with that, especially with Tyson Fury and the shenanigans he's been pulling. I don't agree with that, but Wilder, that's that Southern hospitality, man. He's just a good-hearted person, despite how people may perceive him or how people think, what they think about him. Wilder's a real good dude, because he didn't have to get the dangerous Luis Ortiz that many shots, you know. But he's doing it again, you know. So shout out to a real one like Deontay Wilder and all the other real fighters out there, man. You know, the Edislandi Laras, the Terrence Crawfords, who else is a real fucking fighter? A lot of the guys that, the Maurice Hookers, the Jose Ramirez's, the Regis Prograis, the Josh Taylors, you know, the Adrian Broners, you know what I'm saying? Real fighters who may have some losses, but they fighting people. You know, they ain't making no excuses. They not saying, oh, I need this bag, or, you know, well, he gonna have to wait till I feel like I'm ready. And all this just, God, man, I can go on for another 10 minutes about this shit, dude, but I'm not gonna hold y'all too much longer, man. Shout out to you if you sat here and listened to your boy rant about boxing and about the buster, Billy Joe, you know what I'm saying, dodging Demetrius Andrade again. You know, so Demetrius Andrade is arguably one of the most devoted fighters in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Actually, he's probably, if you had a list of some of the most avoided fighters in boxing history, Demetrius Andrade is definitely on that list. Like, subscribe, holler at your boy. Peace out.